Okay. Hello, and welcome back. So, short stream today because I thought I was gonna be tired, which I am. I can feel like the sore throat still existing, even though it's been like 3 weeks now. It's really annoying me. But it comes back each time I stay awake for this late, which is fine. But it's annoying. But this stream is gonna be short because I don't want to time my voice out. I've got a lot of work to do tomorrow and for the next 4 weeks. Yay. So you can imagine I don't want to stay awake too long. So I was gonna do 2 hours to an hour and a half maybe. Depends how long I can last, honestly. And depends how long my voice can last. And we'll see how long that is. You'll notice I'll get tired reading the longer sentences. But I wanted to finish this and give it a go. So fog carries magical pneumonia. I can't read that word still. They enhance spellcasters' talents, but they also awaken any human corpses they touch. They're rare in spring, common during fall. So, fall. I think they're teasing me about being in fall. You wake up on a pile of fur just after a few hours, still wondering about the feast and your conversation with the hunter. At first you get bored with the half-drunken man and consider seeking a sleeping spot. Why was that so hard? But then he revealed the guilt that still bit his soul. While he couldn't heal him, he found comfort in having somebody to talk to, and in the stories you shared with him as you observed the flowing creek below the village. There we go. Now there was a loud conversation coming from the main gate. There were people sitting with planks of cold meat and bowls of gruel, chatting about the plans of the day. Some of them wish you a good day. Reginald is well rested and satisfied. Let's talk to the farmer. She's standing next to an old stream, speaking with another farmer who leaves her once you get close. Talking about the room, I was to ask about merchants. Are hunters? Our hunters pushed away the beast, but it's not safe for us to keep roaming around from here and there on the highwind. But you're right, RoadWarden. I am just a farmer with a past. During the pause that follows, a cold gust of wind ruffles your cloak. It's foggy. He speaks with travellers and merchants. Knows how the price, wages, and labour, but we need both her place and her experience. But you know how those roads are. When we need to resupply, we send a whole expedition with a cart and not a lonely peddler. Well, oh day to spare. How long does that use up again? I can't remember, because we need to focus on spying with these guys. Ooh, the rod. Actually, let's go. I just remembered we can put the rod in. We need to get there early for it. So 2 hours. It takes so long to get there now. Let's talk to this guy. Will you open a path for me? Will food rations be fine? Okay, good. He's satisfied. Let's go here. It'll be 1 hour. Hopefully we're not too late. Put that rod in. I go approach Vanel. Wait, good day, RoadWarden. No, farewell. Okay, it was you. About the rod. Ready to get your hands dirty? I say, very well, I'll do the work. Can't I just pay you maybe another time? Save, let's do the work. Okay. After half an hour or so, the expedition is ready. 6 souls, none of them older than 40, and with no undead to assist them. Too dumb? Too dumb, said the oldest woman explained. And we're no overseers with us. The accents are heavy, but they rarely address you. Most of the time, they exchange a single word command, gesturing for you to quiet down whenever you step on a branch. Nice. You spend a day following the bog paths, but also going deeper into the wilderness. As a group, you manage to scare away the smaller beasts. Your guide claims to lead you around the hunting territory of the larger predators. From time to time, you keep what looks to you like the most inconvenient trails in sight, yet no one objects. You cross the mud, shallow waters, ancient and dark game trails, keeping any movement among the trees and grasses. Hunger and annoyed by the insects, you go back to the white marshes, carrying baskets full of mushrooms, berries, herbs, and great leaves, but also a few birds and furry critters. As we head back to the village, I follow the guide patiently. Halvius awaits you at the gates, nodding with approval. 2 steps away from him, you see a short corpse, bare bone around its waist, but still wearing pants and carrying scraps of meat on its feet. Nice. I didn't want to know that, but thank you. Not giving you a moment for breath, the mayor tells you to fetch him a rod. After you do so, he throws it at the undead, bouncing the rod off its head with a thump, and starts to laugh. Go on now, he commands it. Put it up on the tree over there, tie it with a rope. His worker bows and picks up the tool and obeyingly walks away. What deal? I don't remember any deal. You save and roll. We had a deal. He gives you a puzzled look and tries to wrench himself away, but your grasp is strong and doesn't make it easy. There are no trees inside, you damn toad. He stops suddenly. After a long pause, calls the undead to come back. I'll find a tall building. You let him go back. You let him go and walk back to your bundles, where you quench your thirst. That actually worked out well. Let's go. I go talk to this guy. What do you want? Could be anger, but it may help his trust. Let's tell him about the woman who asked me to find our savings. You meet his glance, but harsh and condescending. You've no doubt he won't take any accusations lightly. Woman from the village asked me to bring her some more coins. I thought you should know about this. I don't really want to tell him where the band is. Okay, that works. I have stuff to sell. I can sell these. He points at his blade at the only thing that interests him. I'll pay you 3 for 1 bone. Yes, that's fine. That's it. He steps away and I pack my things. Farewell. I ask the guard if there's room I can rent for the night. I guess. One of them sighs and tells you to wait while you're standing. After a few moments, a group of local approaches a neglected turf house and starts to empty it. Oh, my voice changed. They take out old crates, rugs, caskets, and bricks, then leave them by the outer wall, at least for now. 'Tis an old shed, explains the guard. There you won't be bothering anyone. We'll be ready before you need it. I've got 4 hours to kill before it's nighttime. Journal. So this is done. I can go to the Enchantress when I do. I'm so stuck on this, I might as well just fight them. I'm so stuck on the closed tunnel. I have a sleeping giant that I don't know. But I might be able to ask the Enchantress when I see her about it. And this is chaotic. I need more information about this, so I have to go find somebody, but otherwise I'm running out of quests, which is nice. Let's keep it calm. What am I carrying? Got food, plants. Suppose we can eat something. This letter is opened. Oh yes. My garrison is gone, so I have no armor protection. I look terrible. I love how it keeps getting broken. Let's do inventory. Let's eat something. And then character sheet. Combat experience is advanced. Spared animals, quite a few, yeah, because I try to kill me. You rejected the existence? Lies, some. Sewing experience, absolutely none. Gambling experience, you have slight, nice. Let's see achievements. Oh, archives, not achievements. What am I doing again? How am I lost here? Let's eat some more food. We got like enough money for it. Save and do some traveling, and hope by the time I've finished it isn't night. A few more days, the fruit will be ready to pick. Oh yay. There's nowhere else I can go here, the creepers. Oh, they moved now. That's pretty cool. Thick air makes you want to take a deep breath, but the smell of decomposing flesh makes it a risky venture. The roots, like creepers, are raised at an angle, moving up and down slowly in the rhythm of a heartbeat. I need to go to sleep. The group that you encountered at the old forest garden is close to the gate. During their training, they use meatless undead to order them to dodge their attacks. It's not very good stuff. Sleep. I sleep in a shed. Nice. You rest on your own blanket, the never-ending sound of wall construction and walking skeletons won't help you get a good sleep. Okay. Let's save and hope this works. So welcome in. Got some more souls joining us. Welcome, welcome. I hope you guys are having a good day, afternoon, or night. The rain once again hits the ground, interrupting your sleep. Another day of muddy roads. Oh no, look at this. Oh no. A persistent shouting wakes you up. Weak moonbeams squeeze through the smoke holes, but to have a proper look around, you open the door. There are flickering torches at the main gate, accompanied by a solemn prayer and tender shouts. You put on your cloak and boots and leave the shed. A few of the locals, dressed in their regular, worn, muddy clothes, surround a large group of undead, touching their half-rotten limbs and revealed rib cages and motionless heads. A hooded woman somnolently sings, begs for the right's guidance and protection. But you don't pay much attention to her words. The man noses ゚Secret is standing beside the gathering, with a revealed torso and a walking stick beneath his shoulder. Every now and then he cuts his side or his back and fills a wooden bowl slightly. Ouch. That hurts. What is he doing? He's doing that. Then a follower steps closer, puts 2 fingers inside the liquid, and takes it to one of the woken creations. The light dances around them, casting shadows that you could swear hide cruel spirits. You don't know how long you've been observing the ritual when the scar-covered man turns towards you. His innocent, sad eyes carry no judgment or reproach. No judgment. Yet you suddenly notice how cold your calves and necks are. Autumn is surely getting closer. You wade through the mud. What has happened to them that they feel justified in doing all this? So not only do they awaken the dead, they use blood magic. They wouldn't let it go. Hope they'll let me leave this place. What happened to them that make them feel justified to do all this? Before you reach the door, you think about the bandit's request. You saw nobody on your way, so could spend more time looking around. Though by doing this, you won't get much sleep. That's fine. I can go sleepless. Everything's fine. We're already sleepless. Let's just keep going. You need to examine the local defenses. Okay. That did nothing. Nice. Oh no, it did something, but it didn't drop. You underestimate how difficult it is to be crossing the many puddles and muddy alleys of the village. You seek silent routes, trying to hide from patrols, some of which may already be dead, and sometimes spend a few moments crouching in the dark, waiting for the right time to walk away. Once you get back, you recollect your observations. The guards seem weak, almost sickly. A few spots on the walls could be crossed by the entire backside of the village, just surrounded by water. The houses won't be taken down with fire easily, and there are obviously no observation points. The undead carry no equipment. Aside from the sheer number of potential enemies, the village is weak. Not sure if I should really learn. She's gone too far. Maybe better to strike them quickly before it's too late. That's true. But don't actually go and attack them, please. Not myself. The days are getting shorter, I know. Even though the village seems to be on its legs, most shells you spot are dead, just as occupied as they were during the night. Oh well. So now we're travelling. And that's not done. It's 4 hours and then we have to go there. Lovely. I have no armor. This is gonna go horribly. Hold on. Winters. I have no armor. The long shadow cast by the creek protects you from the sun. Quintus looks at you from the top of the parapet that's near the tower. He crosses it and leans forward. Salutations, warning you hear about the gate. You ever heard about the High Islands? Eh? Ahead, alright? You can see it's a volcano from old Pagus, and the monks say it's a weird place, and also a tale for the worthy. You ask him if he knows this tale, he glances in the direction of his home. Nah. I'm dying. I need to repair my stuff. Do these guys hate me? I can't remember. Do you guys hate me? Yeah, I don't blame them. Why? I'm going to be cheap again. We're going to go to the tailor. I'm in need of your services. Yep, that's fine. That's all good, thank you. Save. Map. Let's go down to Pedal the North, because I don't think we're gonna get through the forest. So we'll go down to the Pedal. Oh wait, I need to leave before I can go into the Pedal. Hold on. I'm so confused. Okay. Travel. Yeah, it's a bit too late to get there. And we'll go through the Enchantress Way this time. Hey Wade, welcome in. How are you going? Oh, I got a notification from somebody. How are you doing, Wade? It's nice to see you. I get off my horse and enter the inn. I go to the innkeeper. You have any food left? Not today, maybe tomorrow. That's all good. Have you ever heard about the High Islands? I've heard this name before. Let me think. He looks around, then picks up a mug and tilts it to peek inside. Oh right, it's the scavenged wildness around the volcano. I asked the locals what's with the smoke that could be seen from time to time. They don't really know much about the place either. I'd ask some of the soldiers if I were you. Okay. I want to try something. Oh, he freezes. He looks at the door. It ain't my story to tell, RoadWarden. You'd be wiser not to ask about it. Doesn't trust me enough. Give me more. Okay, how about Steep House? I don't know them. Okay. Let's change the topic. What do you have for sale again? Let me see your wares. You have a crossbow? Not interested in them. I'm good with food right now. Take another look around the main hall. Sitting beneath an open window, 3 guards are arguing about something, but then ease at the tension with his friendly barter. The innkeeper is dusting the counters and shelves with a cloth. Talia is sitting in the corner, flinching at every loud noise. Poor Talia. Go to bed. Sleep in a room. You need to sleep in a room. How you doing, Fox? Doing okay. Today's going to be a bit of a short one, though, I'm pretty sure. So, unfortunately, we're not going to stay on for the full 3 hours. But I'll make up for it with the other stream on Monday. So you guys get like 2 in a week, although it's not a week for you, is it? So it's 1 in a week. Okay. How you going there, Wade? Day's just beginning for you, isn't it? The dark skies don't go away. It's yet another night of rainfall. Never a break, huh? $43. That's all I need. I go outside. I approach the guards. You know anything about the High Islands? She looks at the other guards, but is met with silence. It's just an island. Some of them say. No soul swims there no more. It's too green, too many beasts, unicorns ahead. I'm looking for knowledge about creatures. Well, I told you our knowledge is valuable. Oh yeah. She wants me to pay. I walk away. Let's travel. And we're going around the other way, so 3 hours. Let's go to the enchantress first, so we miss out on the morning creatures. Oh, she doesn't talk to me until it's like nighttime. That's right, she waits until the evening, so I guess we'll just go here. I return to the bandit's hideout. Pack of wolves are heading east, so they're up near the creeks. You're standing at the ford. You spot a few rocks you've thrown into it. You spot a large furry beast that runs down the river, startled by your presence. Why am I throwing rocks into the river? I don't understand. It's just a weird thing that I come and do every single time I come in. For now, I ignore it. You hear angry shouts and grunts, then find two brown-furred goblins in a bright tunnel. Their hairless faces with small eyes and large mouths are now turning towards you. They are a few steps apart, aiming at each other with one large stick and a club. Between them is a pair of antlers. Scare them away and I grab the antlers. Shall we try to get something for ourselves coming all this way out here? I think we shall. I scare them away and grab the antlers. You get a bit closer with your mount, towering over the beast. They exchange look, let out a grumble, and crawl away, giving you a hateful glance. Nice. After they start to flee through the bushes, you jump on the ground and reach for your prize. Let's go, Reginald. A few men are discussing something at the gate, but fall quiet once they notice you. Aside from a few polite nods, the highwaymen observe you distrustfully, tell you to keep your weapons with your bundles. Into the hamlet. Galia is standing next to a tree stump, washing her heavy boots with a wet cloth. Seeing your arrival, she adjusts the buckle and gestures for you to walk with her around the shelter. Here we go with more walking. Just skipping rocks, totally normal. I feel like I'm trying to create a bridge of rocks or stepping stones over the river, because currently I'm just waving through the river whenever I cross there. So that's what I feel like I'm doing. About the spying you wanted me to do. What did you see? I have a lot to say. She nods for you to follow her outside the gate, then to the pond bridge. But since it turns out to be occupied by a few orange frogs, each one of them as large as your forehand, and you instead enter the woodlands behind the walls. Her guards are nearby. I try to stay quiet, thinking about the dang in my boots. She won't hurt me, I'm too valuable to her. The solidarity is slow. You observe the walls and you describe the walls and the dwellers of the White Marshes, as well as the grounds surrounding the village. And every question you receive is straightforward and brief. A few good minutes you walk back to the hamlet. Nobody pushes you, or even steps close enough to make you worry. Well, you did well. You did. So, what do you want? 20 coins or 2 healing potions? I feel like the potions might be good for the late game, and I don't really need the coins. I don't know, should I go for the coins or should I go for the... I've got like this, and I've also got antlers to sell. Where did I get this from? I've still got a lot of stuff to sell and I don't know. Oh, I have to place this down. That's right. I want to get his cloak and I want to get the other thing. I'm not sure. I feel like this relies on you knowing your playstyle a bit. Of which I can't say. Also, thank you for the likes, by the way. I've already got a potion coming from the other guys. Let's get the dragon's coin so I can get a new axe. And I can also get that cloak. Gave me 12. She glances at one of the guards. He throws you a small pouch. She tosses it upwards a few times. That should be enough. Gallia makes enough noise of her own, ignoring the rattling of the coins. I know. I have to plan my next step. Maybe I'll have something more for you in autumn. In autumn? It's not already autumn? I have big plans for it. Her wide grin alters her voice. Have you heard anything about High Island? This again? There's some sort of lair of RoadWardens. Her voice is as quick as a whip. Don't waste my time. You want me to help you find Ariston? Be useful. I'd learn more about you. Oh, updated on that, okay. She stops, smirks as she rubs a large needle leaf between her fingers. Are there no bards who would sing you to sleep? There ain't much story in me to share. As a young lass, I was taught to sew for food and plan a family with a kind cobbler. Her voice weakens, she looks down at her boots. I had to leave my family, but I accepted it. On my way to the wedding, them awakened shells took my closest friend, my face, and the hand I worked with. But I accepted it. The road gave me no kids, but I accepted it. She then runs her eyes over the nearby guards, raising her voice almost to a shout. But after them monsters hit my home and shattered everything I had built or loved, I would not accept it. With or without the right, I'd make those butchers pay. Her wounded eyes, far from those free of pain it has seen, looked at you with determination. I've been here for 10 years now. I'll be here as long as it takes, by myself if I must. Tilting the hilt of her sword, she moves forward. Foggy mentioned some dark days pushed you into becoming a bandit. Spending some time with these roads, I'm surprised she hasn't been more to death yet. Why? Who are you even robbing on these roads? You are the one with the steep houses fell, aren't you? You were there when the steep houses fell. She stops and turns around, placing a hand on her side. The metal clinks. I saw it all right. The hideous threat, the torches, the bows of her people, the druids in clean robes with curses on their tongues. I helped the others add logs to our broken walls, but when the herd got in through the breach, all I could do was run, so I did. She closes her eyes, but her wounded hand instantly moves to the scabbard of a blade. Just in case. I still remember 2 young men, no, boys, fighting each other by the flames of my house, and a head hitting a tree, my husband screaming from pain in our bed, poised by the well, not knowing he would never fall asleep nor wake up, and a werebear grasping my friend, then tearing her shell in half. I and a few others carry it all, her eyes absent, glancing at one of her guards, a man with a face eaten by fire. And will never forget. That's sad. I know Tharis was angry about the thing with the covenant, but why are the people of Howlers willing to do all this? They would say we were asking for it. I spent not even 15 years in the steep house, but I saw my share of quarrels between the two villages. Do you know they are both the same tribe? It is true, she emphasizes, even though her eyes are focused on the roaming rooks. I thought that said rocks. Everything's fine. She must have told this story many times already. Howlers started a fishing helmet at the steam bank, and it spawned into a new village. In a few generations, Steep House grew strong enough to prosper without Howler's help, and decided to cut ties. We pretty much paid taxes, you see, and got little in return, chiefly since we were placed closer to the hill pass, and many traders turned around soon after they entered our gates. My neighbours had riches, all right, good food and pretty homes. She pauses. And you're not sure if those words made her proud at all. But they respected their land, woods and streams. The only greed we faced was that brought us to with violence. Her frustrated eyes look away as she strides forwards. Foggy mentioned that other members of the gang were also pushed into becoming bandits due to Dark Pass. More of them than you can count. Or did you think people leave their warm homes to pick easy coin? We have survivors from Steep House, a lad forced into a marriage by some old pricks with a long beard, a copper whose daughter poisoned herself with a pie, daffodil pie, oh dear, a hunter whose home was lost in a fire, a shepherd who took an oath to clean these woods of wolves, a hungry thief who chose to run away instead of losing an arm. The guards are now more numerous. Some of them look down, casting you shameful glances, while others meet your eye, keeping their backs straight. We were all wronged by this land, Galia carries on. As her glance grows stringy, her mail becomes annoyingly loud. And our work will give us our pride back. What did White Marshes do to you? She kicks away a piece of the roof that has fallen on the ground without stepping, turns a full circle. Oh, nice. Maybe it's her stride that helps her maintain the angry tone, hiding any trace of melancholy. I can't speak this is fun. Melancholy. After the fall of the steep houses, I returned there a few days later to touch any neighbours left behind by the scavengers. Me. She glances at a few of her men, whose eyes were forced to focus on the nearby grasses and needles. And I think that made it worse. And yeah, that made it worse. And a few others were hiding with me in a cave, with raw meat and bark in our stomachs, rags on our back and sharpened flint in our hands. A rook tried to rest on a wooden post next to her, but as it struggles to stay upright, it rescues itself with a wing flap, then lands on her shoulder, though only for a few heartbeats. Once she carries on, her words flow slowly, dim and flat. We pushed the ashes aside, dug in the soft ground, even jumped into the stream, and there was no shells waiting for us. Ghouls, we thought, runners, goblins. We travelled far those days to warn our last few friends. Awakens will strike, we told them. Make clubs, dig moats, and we waited in this very helmet, seeking them and preparing ourselves. A year went by, and then another, and we saw the first enslaved shell in the White Marshes, the deeds of Otius the priest. Oh, this isn't fair. That's being rude. Okay, let's try again. We thought little of it, not of the first sin of our lifetime, until we realized it wasn't their mere dead who had awakened. Her voice cracks, but she manages to keep her composure. That's what I need to do. They had taken my husband, his parents, and many others, wagons of dead flesh. You spend a good minute in silence. We're but a band of workers. We can't storm walls or send an army beast to punish evil acts. But our work bears fruit, and we'll find a way to get rid of the necromancers, or make their lives so dire they will leave their homes on their own. Sorry you faced such hardship. They'll regret what they did to you, to everybody. Don't make me laugh. Her tone is somber as ever. Regret is good for a cook who took a bite out of another's chicken, but a hunter who missed a shot, they'll pay for the decision they've made. I'll listen to no excuses. Without another word, she reaches for a water sack and moves forward. So now you're aiming for your rage at White Marshes. Is Halliston next? The smirk of her scarred lips sends you shivers down your spine. Maybe. Well, that's the only person who wants me to... Well, let's ask. You wander behind her, under the keen eyes of the other members of her band. Their harsh looks can't hide their unrest. Giving them yet another hideout could save their lives during difficult journeys, but it could also as well use it to practice their trade, so to speak. Her trust is worth it. Their leader doesn't interrupt you, nor slows down her pace. After you're done, she says without a hint of emotion, but you notice the unnatural pause. Of course, she tries to maintain her composure. But if you're trying to impress me, you need to try harder. You look at the surprised glances of others and try to hide your smile. You got them. Nice. Trying to find out what happened to Ariston. She doesn't spare you a glance, so there are some who are convinced you have something to do with his appearance. Hello, outside. What do you want? You hear something between a grunt and a chuckle. Scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. There are some who are convinced that you had to do. She wants me to do more for her before she tells me. Okay. You go back to Reginald. Some of the highwaymen observe you from a distance. They are busy with their own chores and chatter. Head back to the canopy. You pass a pile of guts and feathers, then a short but bloody trail of cat paws. I ride to a different part of the forest. Where would you like to travel? East to the Painted Boulder. I can't read Spanish, Wade. I cannot read that. No clue what you're saying there. You'll have to translate. Unless you've pocket dialed that. You find hardly any scraps of light in the tunnel of trees, creepers, and branches. From time to time, you're eyed by human-placed wooden beams supporting the roof like a mine shaft. A small red bird with black wings, blue eyes, and a yellow beak is observing you for a good few minutes now, jumping between the shrubs as you ride forward. You even remember it from the last time you came here. Whenever you stop, it also stays close, like a caring parent. It's just a bird, I ignore it. Before you reach the next part of the forest, the creature disappears amongst the crowds. You're probably gonna die. You're standing at the ford. You spot a few of the rocks you were throwing into it. Nearby, you find a stain of blood and a drinking animal. A drinking animal must have been caught by a predator. Spend a few hours gathering some large rocks and throwing them into the water because it's a tradition. 15 minutes. After you're done, the deepest holes are now filled with rocks. It's too late to begin any hard labor and move on. You leave the dark woods behind. 3 hares cross the road so quickly you barely notice them. Soon after they disappear in the shrubs, a large spotted cat shows up, trying to catch them. It spares you only a glance. So, what does my journal say now? What? I can't read it. The thing's in the way. Do you need a back scratch? Fox roughly translate. Blood on the rocks, blood on the rocks. I'm good with that back scratch. I have this quest. And she doesn't want to talk to me. I have these 2 quests which I can probably finish off. Blood on the rocks, rocks, rocks. Is that a lyric? That sounds like lyrics that you're singing there. Ah, okay. Is that Spanish though? Did I actually get that right? Let's travel to the Enchantress again. A loud roar comes from the north, making your pathway stop. After a few heartbeats, it snorts and moves on. You touch the cold shell and the monster's eyes glow red. Go inside. I'll be with you soon. The stone creature lets you in. I enter the yard. She just closes the door behind you. You're back. I want to collect my reward for the bronze robes. Oh, I'm getting a lot of money now. She wipes her hands on the rods and places one of them in her pocket. It waits you to describe the locations where you place the rods. She asks you for a few details and thinks out loud. Let's see. 8 rods in total, so it'd be... Here you go. I guess we're done here. It looks so. Thanks, friend. Fantastic. As a bonus reward for placing all the rods, you can buy my spirit stones too. But wow, that would have been helpful ages ago. Such a journey would take me weeks, or it wouldn't, or I wouldn't try it, she chuckles. But she twists her hair and her eyes glow, absent again. I'm looking for Ariston, the previous RoadWarden. She looks in the distance and holds out one hand across her stomach. Twisting her hair with the other. I should smoke or at least gather wood. Summer's almost over. I can help you with that. She glances at you, but it takes her a few breaths to answer. We have no time for it, do we now? Wardens never do enchanters. She lets out a long exhale. You're someone who puts actions first. Ariston was the same. If you ought happen to him, don't let yourselves fall too. Her description of his appearance matches what you've heard from Talia. Don't be deceived by his height, she adds. As he brought me herbs guarded by beast folk, not many could match his spear and his bow. In return for his various favours, I shoved magicka into his cloak, making it as warm and as soft as a pelt of a white wolf. Best sleep of my life. She raises her dreamy eyes. Her voice grows confident. If Ariston is still here, I'm sure he has the cloak. It's green with a light hood, embroidered leaves. I know where that cloak is, and he doesn't have it. Latin close enough. Ah. Okay. I'm not very close. Oh dear. Thank you, Wade. When was the last time you saw him? Soon before he vanished. He was anxious, tired, unkind, but For a heavy heart, he didn't explain it. I didn't ask. He rested at her place for a few hours, healed himself with magic, prepared his equipment, and she showed a surprising memory for the detail. But not useful ones. He told me he was going to start a great adventure, and he'd bring back many stories, but he was afraid. I knew he was. Did you ask for anything weird before he left? Maybe he wanted something. She scratches the sand with her foot. Yes, actually, he wanted a golem of mine. She seems to finish her tale, but after seeing you look, she clears her throat. Oh, that's not an option. I'm no way to stay in touch with the Sentinels. That's far away from here. Do you have any messages for him in case I find him? Message. Just tell him he owes me for the cloak. He knows we're not even. It's a damn treasure. She puts on a smile, but her eyes betray her. Do you need help with anything else? Her lips form a shadow of a smile. I do, but it won't be as much of an ordeal, just a simple errand. She moves closer and pulls out a dried flower petal from her pocket. See? This is like an orange tulip, but much larger leaves. It's called snakebite. Bring me 1 or 2 freshly picked. I'll pay you 5 dragons. Fair enough. Any tips where I can find it? That's the hard part. You'll try in the west villages or in the deep woods. They need light, not in caves. But stay in the shadows, so below trees, edge of meadows, would be my guess. Or maybe you'd find one by the main road. Keep your eyes open. Deal. Anything else? You don't sell anything other than those rocks, do you? I have like 48. Oh my god. I have so much money. What? I couldn't ask her about the sleeping giant, which is very fun. Let's do the old bridge and get this done. You notice a bunch of large paw prints both on the side of the road and around it. Time to stop lowering around this painted plaque. You convert remains of the shrub to help you tie the plaque above the ground. After a few moments, you step away and take a look at the new sign. Rather see people build and not hiding them. Wonder if the days of irons are ever coming back. It might save somebody's life. Reginald looks around nervously and approaches you when it notices your attention. Travel and seek shelter. I believe I could stay here. If I'm wrong, I'm dead. 2 pigeons fly off the roof and disappear. I enter. Okay, I leave the building. Can you sleep here? It's too dangerous to stay here. You can't sleep here. Oh, well, we're gonna have to travel through the night. I think this broke. This still says 4. The watchtower is blending with the wilderness slowly. There are small creatures ahead of you, no larger than a hare, running from one side of the road to the other. Before you get to the crossroads, they vanish amongst the shrubs and bushes. They are now rustling and shaking disquietly. I see. And you're at the ground floor of the tower. A dozen of little creatures run away from the new source of light. Following the clues from old Pagus, I look for anything that Arison could have left behind. Ooh, interesting. I've never done this before. You start to move around a few of the furniture, light and heavy. Among various pieces of garbage you have to push aside, you find something unusual in the space between one of the pallets and the wall. An old, molded wax tablet, and there's some writing inside. Other than that, the place seems empty unless you can count the broken pottery and rugged clothes. For now, I hide it in my bag and put everything back in place. Time to wash my hands. You reach the ground floor of the tower. going to go to sleep. It's covered in bugs. It's fine. Everything's fine. The shivers wake you up. You open the window, inviting the dense fog in, and let the gentle droplets form on your skin. The entire tower is surrounded by darkness, and you see no skies nor the ground. I'll let it pass, because I don't need it. My magic's been pretty good. You open your eyes, and the bugs are on me again, and they're in my bag again. And Reginald is looking at me unimpressed again. So, we're traveling. Wait, where are we going? What places do I have to go to? Pretty sure that's the heart of the woods. I can go to the closed tunnel and try to fight that off. And I still need to figure out the sleeping giant. It's 1 hour now. Let's travel. Let's go to the foraging ground and see if there's anything that I can pick up. Some little furry critters flee away from you through the short grasses. Nothing here is as loud as your powerful spills, and you don't spot any large predators. I try to forage, though it might take some time. You put even more effort into exploring the area, but you only find things you can't use on the road. Honey, mushrooms, insects, acorns, eggs, and little critters, snakes and lizards. You do, however, find an unusual spot in the far east, near a shallow pond, a small ravine of sorts. Instead of water, it hides torn cloths, broken tools, and the remains of a camp. There are no bones around. Whoever had found their end in this place surely turned into an undead years ago, or decades ago. There's a broken rope hanging from a tree stump. The other end of the plant is already at the bottom of the ravine. Maybe I'll find some Belgian bread. I better get down there. You grab Reginald's halter. Your mount observes the area nervously, not willing to glare on the spare to graze on the sparse dry grasses. You pat its side. It won't take long, you say, knowing both that it doesn't understand you, and you can't be sure if the words are true. It lowers its head and starts pawing the ground. Not willing to repeat the mistakes of the previous traveler, you tie your rope to a stone instead of any plants. You take only what's necessary and descend. Leaning with your boots against the rock face and the sound of winds, birds are muffled, echoed. You end up in the corner of the rocks. I approach the traveler's possessions. You find no blood, flesh, or bones, but the clues tell you all you need. Somebody was betrayed by their own rope. Now lying on the ground with a torn loop, they landed on their bag, in which you found a bunch of broken supply jars and scraps of linen. Then they tried to crawl away. You found nothing of value, not even dragon bones. Maybe that's why the dead used to own such unreliable equipment. You're ready to climb back, but once you turn around, you realize you've overlooked something sticking out of the walls. A pickaxe. Surrounded by a dozen of cracks, some of the small rocks already crumbling. You grab the tool. It gives way easy. More thanks. I found a copper vein. Oh, interesting. More thanks to the rust than your muscles. You throw it away, use your hands to pull away the shards of the wall, grasping once you realize the panomia on their surface. You kneel down and take a better look at the rocks. At least half of them are bearing a touch of green copper, like a statue in an old temple. You come to your senses and push away the image of fortune and future idleness. A large group would have to set up a hamlet here to even inspect the vein, with workers, guards, wood supplies, and tools. and all under the noses of the locals. Now I have to decide if I should take it to... I can't click on that. Why can't I click on that? Okay, we're going to ignore that since it's giving me the travel option. Let's go to Foggy's. Approach the foragers. They don't like me, so I walk away. Then we go to the tavern. Do you want to buy anything? You want to buy that? I want to sell you that. I need to buy something. Let's buy the cloak. Thank you. And then I'd like to learn more about the tavern. Time for me to go. Let's try the tunnel, shall we? First I need food because I'm hungry. Everybody knows we fight better when we have a full stomach. And we'll go fight the tunnel. Let's see if we can do this. Or we end up dying again. A large shadow comes from above, making a reach for your blade, but the dragon doesn't care about a meal as humble as you. It flies towards the sea, letting out a single roar. I need a relative light source. Costs 1. You enter into the snap, sensing the pleasant, familiar warmth with the then press the blade with your open palm. After a minute of repeating the simple incantation, the pearl and your weapon starts to glow, making a sound of breaking ice, and covering the walls with a blue light. Your hands and lips are surrounded by a chilling aura. You hide the pendant back into your bag. I enter the tunnel. You feel the gentle movement of humid air. I go as deep as I can, and see the light flickering at the end of the tunnel. I don't remember where these guys existed. I follow the long north tunnel. I go back to the crossroads. I'm here, I think. I head towards the cave-in. I'm here now. You reach the door. I enter the storehouse quiet. I walk outside. I return to the crossroads. It's just me gonna be getting lost. I go to whatever this is. The drops hit the ground and the teeth like stalagmites. Instead of putting a trap here, I don't have a trap to put. Oh, I do. Look around. You make a few foothold traps to slow down the undead. Tie the monster claw to a branch. Ooh, yes. You attach the... Remember this is here, I'm gonna forget. You attach the bent branch to one of the stalagmites, giving it some decent camouflage, though the rocks here are pretty brittle. Thanks to the tools you found, it won't take more than half an hour. I have enough claws, cords, and wood to build 2 whip traps in the entire tunnel. Let's go get it. That's good fight. Once you're done, you take a long look at the trigger cord. Getting hit with the monster's claws could clear you on the spot. I enter the main tunnel. Okay, you hide the branch as one of the supporting beams, so it won't be easy to camouflage the triggering cord in the darkness. You need to be careful, but thanks to tools you find, it takes less than an hour. Have enough supplies to build one more. Okay, let's go. Did I do it at the cave-in? I can't set a trap here. Turn to the crossroads. Can I set a trap in the storeroom? I can't set a trap here. Return. I can't go down here. What happens if I cup my hands? I don't know, I just shout. That's relatable. I come in peace, I'll purchase one of you. Hey, you come and get me. I don't know, I just shout. The creatures don't scream and either makes threatening gestures nor cast angry looks. You hear only the rattling of their bones as they hit against the rocky floor. The empty eye sockets and the naked skulls reveal nothing. The 4 skeletons wearing a few rags, and 2 of them still have scraps of flesh on their limbs. Their weapons are unconventional, simple digging tools and spears tipped with rocks, but you notice the speed and confidence in their movement. The one in the black is holding a wooden lantern, while the others are carrying fresh torches, but the group doesn't pay attention to their steps. I reach for my wand. Depending on the skeleton movements, how much time and space there is to dodge, it may be difficult to land a perfect thing. Okay, receive it. Strike. You reach the willow casting area. You almost dodge the invisible waves. The undead leaves forward a few moments. After it straightens up again, it runs after you despite its broken rib. I run towards the door. You jump over the cord, stretch over the floor, but after one of the undeads triggers it, it hits only with the tip of the branch. Not too forcefully, you glance behind while the creature needs to get back on its feet. It's still going. The undead does stumble upon the cord. The stalagmite doesn't hold the force on it. By your whip trap, it shatters, making the branch splinter into the water around. Now on to the other one. It gives you the door behind you. Look, there's no way to lock it. Let's fight. Well, I almost died. That's great. You and the skeletons have the time to take proper stances, filling the chambers with a loud thud of your boots and bones. Without flesh, your target blocks and dodge, making you feel as if you're facing a human, not a bloodthirsty beast. You struggle to land any hits with the weight of your axe hardly compressing for all the palfrey darkness and rattling. Your brave swings turn into a desperate fight for survival when the powerful blows reaches your back, dangerously close to the spine. Yikes. It is then followed by a strike to your cheek. Finally, you end up surrounded with the crushed, disheveled bones, hurting so much that you have tears in your eyes. The corridors feel silent. You cough out blood and reach your bag for band-aids. I almost died, but I'm still alive. Decide what to do after I leave. Go as deep into the tunnel as I can. I follow the tunnel north. The tunnel is quiet and dry. I enter the dark chamber ahead. While the chamber is in shambles, you recognize its unusual furniture. The shaped stacks, shield-like tables for crossbows users, empty spear racks if necessary. It could be the last line of defense for guards and diggers, surrounding any beast or bandit determined enough to reach the center of the tunnel. You're in front of a huge, double-leafed gate, towered taller than two humans made of brass. You're not sure if a single shell could even move it. I search the room. There's plenty of furniture to look under or push aside. The undead left little to no sign of their presence, as they were idly standing for years. A small pile of candles and another, much larger one of the candle stumps, doesn't explain why the walking corpse would use light. Grab a few of the candles for later. I take a look at the gate. It's made of sheets held by thick bars. Pictures impressed on the surface portray fishers and their catch. Sea monsters covered with nets, falling harpies, and working diggers. While it's doubtful it's made of materials worthy enough of turning into blades, it's priceless. Look through the keyhole, observing the continued path and the clear skies with ease. Despite the cobwebs, you take a deep breath of fresh air, then put 4 fingers inside. A key of this size wouldn't be difficult to find. I'm too weak to push the gate. I go back to Reginald. I proceed shelter. Yeah, let's travel to Foggy's. Foggy, I'm half dead. I'm half dead, Foggy. I'm sorry. I'd like something to eat. She stretches out and gives me a moment. She sits down at the table. After some time, she gives me food. You guys know the rest because I've read that a few times. Let's sleep. Listening to the grunts, make it happy that you're not the one who has to deal with it. Time for me to go. Let's travel back to the tunnel. You pick up the bones, won't take you much time, but the funeral traditions are rather demanding. You need to chop and gather enough wood to form a big pile somewhere downhill. Of course, the orthodox approach is not the only one possible. Whoever those creatures used to be, they deserve a proper ritual. It will take me 3 hours to do so, but I'll let them rest. Fine. After spending a few more minutes in the darkness, you bring 3 sacks with the human remains to a small, free-growing clearing. You put on gloves and prepare some tools, collecting wood from the thicket and the tunnel, crudely splitting branches and logs. Covered with sweat, soil, and the smell of smoke, you observe the head-high flames. The bones are sticking out of the wood like hedgehog quills and then cracking from the heat loudly. I should wash my hands. Reginald's napping near the forest. Let's travel to this place. Tell them about the tunnel, which is now clear. Let's go to the digger. I got rid of the undead of the old tunnel in the south, but I'm missing the key to the gate. Luna shakes the table, her toys fall apart, merely like that. You cleared all the undead on your own. After you nod, she glances at your axe, then at her toys. I don't have it, I'm afraid. Its place is at the armory, in a huge place behind the fake brick, marked with an hourglass. You need to press it with a pendant, like those we wear in our village. Clever merchant, this one. Where can I find an hourglass? Ask Rafa, the tailor. Tell her I'd like to give one to you as a gift. Farewell. Let's go to the tailor. Luna mentioned she'd like you to give me an hourglass pendant as a gift. First time I'm hearing about this. She looks up. The beads in her hair dance in the light. I'll ask her later on. You can pick it up from here. She nods at a box with pendants, rings, buttons, and buckles. All of them bear the touch of the previous owners. What can you do for me? Nice. 0 cost. Let's do this because it's free. And why not? And then it's 2 coins, that's fair. I'll head outside. Go back to the digger. Oh wait. Where do I need to go? The armory. What do you sell? Quills. Let's step away. What can you tell me about High Island? She speaks slowly, stepping between words as if they're poison ivy. Not much. It's a deadly place, and we're forbidden to travel there, we are. All them old deals between the tribes and the villagers. Who could understand them? It ain't like the fish there are worth the effort. I'll walk away. Let's travel again. What are we doing? Oh yeah, armory here, right? Where is the armory? I don't remember. I enter the tunnel because I'm already glowing. So I go back to the animal pen. I move forward. I head back to the crossroads. I turn left. Oh, this chamber's new. The air in the chamber is humid. The straw beds are covered with mould, and the saggy racks are bending under their own weight, and the animal pens on the floor release a terrible stench. I search the room carefully. I found a bone ring. Find an old walking stick, you push the furs and mattresses aside, and you spare your gloves from touching the sticky odours and end up wrapping them in a cloth. You find only one thing of value, hidden in a rare, dirty bowl pushed to the side of a shelf. A tiny ring made of bone, not a coin, but a piece of jewellery. Still elegant, with a disc with a nice carving on a fish on the top and scales on the side. Leave the chamber. I move forward. I go as deep as I can. I return to the tenant. I go back to the crossroads. Where the flip is this armory? I go north. I don't find the armory. I went back the way I came. Head towards the cave-in. This is a storeroom. I enter it. Walk out sad. Go back to the crossroads. The Stalagmite one. Dining room. Okay, here's the armory. We found it. Let's go. Go as deep as into the tunnel I can. Where is this thing? What? Journal. I need help. What's going on here? Sleeping... No. Closed tunnel, closed tunnel. Here it is. Let's leave this place. I'm not sure what's going on here. Let's get back to Reginald and we'll go check them. Let's go down this side. I want to see. Ooh. Yeah. First time sleeping with a cloak. Let's see if anything happens. Nothing happened. That was very underwhelming. Okay, time for me to go. Sorry. I'm gonna leave you very quickly. Day 6. Let's travel. Got this slab to read. Let's go to the labyrinth stone. Takes us 4 hours, but I think it's still worth it. Hit by a cold, howling wind, you adjust your cloak. Spot a few more dozen heads absorbed in their work in the fields amongst the fruit trees. One of them is hanging by the hourglass, polishing it with a cloth. Call the monks by hitting the sticks from the drawbridge lowers. Ali welcomes you with a cheerful wave as band its hands. Salutations! Good to see thee in one piece. His young companion is right next to him, observing the sky with a grin. I'm here to pick up the poison. He nods towards Dahlia. She moves closer and hands you a small case. Enjoy! She lets out a cruel whisper. While Ali chuckles, remember, eat one of the good spoons of it at once. Rub some into thy gums, but only once a day. The effects will last for a good few hours. Might as well give thee one sorry mug next time you go to sleep. I found this wax tablet. Could you read it for me? He wipes it with his robe and has to keep the letters close to his face. Sloppy signs, shapes are not consistent, lacks experience. The sign is too large, he observes the content patiently, then returns it to your possession. Those are notes on oars, boats, and a volcano. But such babbling would take the original script to read them. Someone who understands the code. There's one here. Navika. It suits a fisher or a sailor. I seek knowledge about high islands. Then it should be wise to visit our order, he chuckles. I'd rather save such knowledge to the worthy. I have no reason to throw it away. He know about the necromancers in the north? Rubs the lower spot on his forehead with his banner's hands and looks at his short companion. That and this. I saw the ritual. He weakens his spells with blood magic. During your report, Alec avoids Davia's piercing glare. And that would clarify some doubts. His tribe was also weak on Magica, but from what thou says, he's not a sorcerer but a madman. He finally looks at his companion. His voice grows stronger, and we need to take it to our pallet. Let's return. Now the things you asked me to do. Secret. Teach me how to awaken the great giant in the far east. He looks at Dalkia, and then he returns his puzzled stare. I know what thou place means this, but I've got no knowledge. Let me ask the others. He leaves with his companion, who takes a few steps away, not bothering with idle chat. She stares in the distance, moving her shoulders to the tune played by the cold owl, and observes an eagle that is pruning its feathers. After Ali's return, his face is a bit paler. The truth of pagans thus seeketh, and if thus wishes so truly, then that is what I give thee. Here's what I was told. Kneel, lower your head, and pray to these words 10 times, if not more. He utters a bunch of nonsense and smirks at your confused look. Oh, it means the spirits of the giant fathers be with our paths, and not in thunder. It's not so simple, but that's the gist of it. Now follow my lead. I'll spend a few moments teaching you the phrase from the old speech, until you repeat them without mistakes. Though also no comprehension. While your tongue is not used to some of the sounds, the rhythm of the poem helps a lot. I hope thou doesn't not expect the cold rocks to move like a golem. It is a waste of our time. He chuckles, but that's the secret. Yes. Let's travel. How do I get there quickly? Go to the giant. It's going to take 7 hours. It's only quiet here, like the monastery gardens. I return to the statue. Try to awaken it. I knew I should have wrote that down. How to pray. Okay. Pray. You try to utter a simple prayer, but as a moment goes by, you shift your weight from one leg to another and you struggle to focus. No step away. What was the phrase? Oh my goodness. This is why I should have taken a photo of it. Okay, that was misspelled, sorry. Kneel. You raise your knees on the ground and show your respect, humbly, like the right followers do when they enter the temple. Do something else. Pray. There we go. After you say a few words, your thoughts are unusually keen and focused, as if you've entered a new stage of the ritual. I repeat the phrases in the old speech that I was taught before. You place a blanket beneath your knees. You bow down your head and stretch out your arms, reciting the old, strange sounds you've memorized. Their empty sounds mean nothing to you, but the wind is gentle and there are no monsters to distract you. Reginald grazes on grass, unmoved by your efforts. Ooh, that's so pretty. Look at that. Tiny stars, white, blue, orange, and yellow, emerge from the dark cloak, one after another. Some of them grow in size and intensity, while many others stay dim. After a few moments, they move no more. You get used to the hollow darkness remaining between them. Save, because I might fail this. It takes me a few hours, but I do my best to memorize everything I know about the signs presented in the statue. Okay, now I'm hungry. You try to get used to the carved surface of the cloak and the distracting small dots. From time to time, you manage to stay focused. After less than an hour, you manage to spell out the positions and colours of the large dots from memory. And then again and again, you stay convinced you've got this. Hopefully. Seems like I'm done here. Am I actually done? I am done. Oh, nice. How lovely. Save. Hard save. So I have to travel there, it's not giving me any choice. It's fine. Let's go kill myself. Everything's fine. Â€TKeeper welcomes you by blowing a horn. A few breaths, there's no one in sight. Then the Salaran rider runs out of the mountain mouth, welcomes you with a hand wave. I enter the cave. Lord Carapace is waiting for you. He asks you to wait for a few moments. Then Gallia shows up. Coughs for a bit, but welcomes you with a warm smile. I ask about High Islands. We can, but no soul of our tribe has been there in generations. Even a gentle frown changes the chief's scarred face gently. We won't return there while their cities remain a threat. What's the story of the islands? Guy smiles and starts speaking in old speech as if she's repeating the same tale for the thousandth time, then chuckles. Once she shifts to the city tongue, she struggles at some points, but Carapace provides her with phrases and words, or filling the gaps on his own. The Green Mountain, the life-giving volcano in the center of the island. It has been home to the tribe for longer than anyone can remember. We are older than any of the 10 cities, though you doubt there are any ways to clarify such a claim. The shaman spends a few good moments describing the days of her ancestors. Through hardship, they managed to tame enough land to grow vegetables, and made a good chunk of the island their forest garden. After finding the iron and copper veins, they had enough tools, weapons to save their offspring from back-breaking labor. She is also eager to describe the deeds of many families and heroes, and the unique herbs with beautiful names. But the chief asks her to move on. For most of its existence, Halavan avoided the island, finding the hardship in getting close to it. Since the pagans were reclusive to accept dragon bones, the merchants saw little value in their wares. However, once the tribe of the peninsula noticed the growing supply of alums used by island folk and their fishers, the news reached the city. A few more than 200 years ago, officials tried to negotiate a trade deal with the locals, but to no avail. Finally, they were allowed to start their usual efforts, putting to use the growing height of their ships. At first, they harass the fishers, then land on the island itself. The tribe was ready to fight for what was theirs, but the cruelty they faced outmatched them. The kidnappings made the locals afraid to leave their walls. and the raids enslaved the whole hamlets, or burnt down many critical structures. Using traps and their knowledge of the territory, the tribe managed to kill more than what they lost, but the ships kept coming, always led by new and even more experienced captains. After a few bloody battles, the ship's forest fires started. The forest fire starts. The locals understood they had little time before the wrath of the herds would trample them to death. We aren't. 8th generation of the tribe lived here, so close to coast, yet so far from it, she ends a tale. Taming new grounds were harsh. Once 'tis the first child born in these tunnels started breathing, only 1/5 of the tribe was still here to welcome them. Is the island dangerous? Calpers shrugs. As dangerous as the wilds, woods and hills. As the roads are no more, spiders, apemen now live in their houses. 'Tis city folk who tried to take our lands may still be there, walking shelves without souls, but after some time they likely went after blood on the mainland. How do I get there? The chief answers slowly, with a night-cold voice. We'll cut any limbs that so much as touch our homelands. Why don't you want anybody there? What good would it bring us? The chief leans back, as if there's nothing to talk about. After a few breaths, the shaman chips in. We'll enter the island like a traveller returning to their beds. Eyes, 'tis of city folk, not our homeland, but a faded search for iron. Eyes of other tribes see our lost treasures not as our soul, soil, sky, or rains, but only as belongings to grab and sell. Our friends help us keep an eye on the island. If anyone breaks our rules, we'll be ready to swim there, stop them, feed. But it's no longer a home to any human souls. Won't your tribe try to reclaim the island? 'Tis roots of our torment survived plague, 'tis invasion, disaster. Now known to's the only older tales. Shaman grabs a few bones from the fabric below her and starts to roll them between the palm of her hands. We aren't not strength to fight it, no hope to defeat it, but we can wait in humbleness, and hope to spirit will turn them face away once the enemy comes to them for help. Carapace rests a hand on his side. Returning would anger the herds and cost us dearly, yet another 2 generations, once our walls and children grow strong. He looks at an infant being fed by the fire. The ships would come again, bringing torches and chains with them. Rights allowed them to murder freely. He utters the soul carrier's name in disgust. Leading our tribe to their homeland 'tis a dream of every chief and every shaman. It's a dream of its pride. He has a dragon horn. Farewell. I sleep. I'm hungry. I need to eat food. Hold on. What's this? Oh, that's dangerous. I shouldn't eat that. I need more food now. Let's sleep. We'll go to sleep. I'm running out of things to do. I have flowers. I have this guy. I have the tunnel that requires me to push some stuff. Because I can't find where the jolly key is. I don't know where the key is, guys. I'm so confused. We can try pushing the tunnel, but I'll have to rest, because I'm really tired. Let's travel. Let's go to the Enchantress, because we've got our cloak for her. Come inside, Ren. I could use a break. You enter the yard. You let Reginald loose, but no soul shows up to greet you. The door is jarred. I go inside. The chamber was meant to only have one dweller, but even in Halavan it would seem as outrageously tiny. The air carries a scent of sweet and dirty clothes, but more importantly, smoke. A couple of fish and pieces of meat are hanging above the hearth, even though there's no fire left. The Enchantress is sitting on the floor with her back leaning against the wooden steps. Legs outstretched, feet resting on a wooden pillar. She's staring intensely at an inkwell placed right in front of her. I greet her first. New shelter unlocks. Oh, nice. You can stay in her house. She nods, but doesn't look at you. The house is a mess. If it bothers you, complain to the broth I made. A long pause. Take a seat if you want. It's getting cold outside, and you don't act like a bandit. So far, if you need a place to crash, stay in my shed. You have another shed. Just don't carry any torches inside. I store hay there. I sit on her bed. No, I sit next to her on the floor. She nudges you with an elbow. Just don't get weird. So, what do you want? I found Ariston's cloak. Her eyes narrow as she runs her fingers over the fabric. The magic is still in it. It's going to keep you warm. Put it on a rock and feel like a pillow. She falls silent, rubbing one of the leaves with her thumbs as if it's to wipe out an invisible stain. Where'd you find it? Foggies. Your words reach her like a jab. She scratches the floor with her foot, and her shoulders slump. You wait for a few breaths, but she says nothing. I go outside. Well, that's back, I think, unless I still have it. We need to find you flowers, and I think you'll be all good. I have to go to the tunnel still. Let's try to do the tunnel. Alright, even though I'm dying. Let's try to do the tunnel even though I'm dying, guys. Okay, let's go to Foggies. That should put me close to the tunnel. That's 4 hours. 6 hours. Let's check here, because that's 1 hour, and we have to check this one. A few more days, so it's not ready. Yeah, let's get back to Foggies. I guess we could also check there. But let's get back to Foggies. What do you mean it's not nighttime yet? Enter the tavern. Some questions about the peninsula. Go ahead. I heard of such a place. How about Steep House? Steep House. Aye, comes back to me. The poor little place. Those ruins used to be a rich village in the north. A place close to the pass through Hag's Hill. Perfect for traders and travellers. Her eyes show sorrow. They carried about the south roads, unlike the hunters for the pelt. They farmed, looked after the forest garden, yet she walks away and puts her thumb on a scarred lip. They would have done better spending their dragon bones on proper walls, not the pitiful palfreys of theirs. They were inviting monsters. Oh, what is that? That's not how you spell anything. High Island. Island. She leans forward, but her voice seems to be incapable of a whisper. You don't plan to swim there, do you? You won't get there without a boat. And with a boat, it's still a dice roll. There's always a drunk or two in the rocks or howlers who says they've been there, but it's all rubbish. They've hardly touched the island's walls. You try to pressure a bit, but don't learn much. She claims that it's high above the sea, at the top of a wall-like steep cliff, and a rope may not be enough for one to get to the top. From time to time, a pillar of smoke flies out of the volcano in the center of the island. The whole place is green, with animals as great as dragons. It could store treasures, like the folks say, maybe. But no soul knows where to look for it. Ryan knows some child started a tale and played with everybody's desperate dreams. Thank you. Try to remember, maybe there's someone you know who've been to the island. She rolls her eyes. Dear, dear, you're putting your finger into the wrong straw. You've already changed the topic, but she sighs loudly, then almost a whisper. Ask Africa from Gal Rocks. Next one to eat. Thank you. I don't need to buy anything from you, do we? No. How many hours? Like 3. Let's go here and see if we can forage. As far as you can tell, none of the nearby mushrooms can be trusted, even though the ants are avoiding them. You don't spot any large predators. Okay, let's travel and go back to Foggy's. Hi Foggy, I'm back again. And then let's sleep. Okay. Let's travel, and then after this, I'll probably sleep. I'll probably sleep myself. I need to use Magicka to go in here, so I use some Magicka, and then we'll enter the tunnel. I'm not going to read all that. I move forward. I go as deep as I can. Turn to the tunnel. I head towards Bronze Gate. Sort of. Oh, I can't push it open. Now I have to look for a key. Oh dear. This one keeps getting better and better. Well, I'm going to leave it here then, because I'm a bit stumped again. I have to find flowers for the enchantress, and I've got a closed tunnel to keep. With a key that's somewhere in the armory of one of these places somewhere. So, that's going to be fun. But yeah, thank you guys for watching again, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you, Wade, for coming in, and it was nice talking to you. I hope you're doing okay, and you have a good day with your work and all that. Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me. We've had 11 views in the stream and 3 likes. Nice odd numbers. Nice odd numbers. Anyway, I will be seeing you guys next time.